Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and you are listening to another episode of the world famous University of Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. So, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is Monday, July the 7th, 2025, ladies and gentlemen. We are recording this show very early in the morning. It is hot. It is hot as Hades, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to record, we are going to record, we are going to record. I am happy to be talking to you today, ladies and gents. I missed you. Okay, we recorded an episode a couple days ago. Since then, we've been doing a lot of writing. Now, if you want to, go ahead, ladies and gents. You can always go to Medium, look up Tony Rizano. You can read the articles. You can go to YouTube, type in Tony Rizano, subscribe to the channel. Listen, we need more people to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know, they say once you get above 50 people, you can start live streaming. So, we're about halfway there. We need more and more people. We get a lot of eyeballs to the YouTube channel, but they're not subscribed. So we need to get more subscribers. That's just the way it is, and we would get those. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Once you get on a, you and I both know this. Once you get on a vision, you get on a path, and you're like, this is where I'm gonna go. This is where I'm headed. Ladies and gentlemen, can't nothing stop you. Okay. I just created. I'm gonna create this website called Would Be Copywriter. That's for the people that want to be copywriters. We're gonna talk about copyright. We're gonna talk about the business of copywriting on that website. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna get that built quick, very quickly, a whole lot quicker than what I try to do with. I don't know if I told you this. The first time I tried to, I bought my domain name Tony Rizano off GoDaddy, and so I tried to transfer it to Bluehost. And for the last few months, it's been a hard time transferring to Bluehost. So instead of transferring to Bluehost, we're just gonna host it on GoDaddy, and we are gonna start uploading all of our blog posts. We're gonna start uploading on GoDaddy, on the Tony Rizano website. I like Medium and everything, and I like, you know, all that other stuff is cool. But ladies and gents, at the end of the day, you want to put stuff on on the things that you control. I can't control YouTube. I can't control TikTok. I can't control Facebook. I can't control none of that jazz. But what I can do is upload stuff on Tony Rizano, on the Would Be Copywriter, on that, and then what we can do is turn that around and create an app, and that's the main goal. That's the main goal. This is why I've been writing. I got a TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. You can go on TikTok. Uh, I've been uploading every day on TikTok. I don't, they all the time they say the same thing. People say the same thing all the time. Oh, if you want to get viral, if you want to do this, you want to do that. You got to do this, you got to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, don't listen to people. Sometimes you can't listen to everybody. The main thing is just upload whatever, It doesn't matter. You just get started. You get started, you start swimming, and then it'll take you where you need to go. Okay? You will navigate it's better for you to navigate the water while you're in the water than staring there, looking at the water, and you're sitting there on the grass. You go, okay, so what am I gonna do? Because a lot of times, a lot of people they never get started because they're so busy looking, waiting. It's like doing the double dutch. You ever played double dutch when I was a kid? Growing up in the good old New Magic, you be out there, you be waiting. Somebody be like, all right, jump in, and they be swinging the two ropes, and they're like, and then they just go in and start jumping. That's what you got to do, man. At the end of the day, strategy. At the end of the day, all that jazz. It's like if you invest in stock. It sounds good to play with it on paper and all that, but at the end of the day, you got to get started because, yeah, a lot of times you might lose something, but you ain't going to learn nothing if you don't do it. Real estate, You want to be a landlord, you gotta get a property going and see how that goes. It's you want to run a business, you want to run a brick and mortar store, you gotta get the builder. Talking about it all day, dreaming about it all day. Oh, it's pointless. Shit in one shit in one hand and wish in the other. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's it. It's just for me. I just like, you know what? We just gonna turn up the heat. We gonna turn up the heat to 1,000 degrees. Every day I've been writing, recording, posting, writing, recording, posting. Next month, I told myself, we're gonna cut. Because we are going. Me personally, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna cut straight to the shit. Okay, I, excuse my language, Lord, but we're gonna cut straight. We're gonna cut straight into the heart of it. Okay? We are going to get an assistant. I'm gonna have somebody to upload all this stuff, proper places. I need to build up the Facebook. I have 900 episodes of a podcast, and not one of them are on Facebook. That is nuts. Okay, we're gonna upload these everywhere. We're gonna upload the podcast. We're gonna upload these videos. We're gonna make more videos. I just bought a recorder for my phone, so I can make more videos while I'm sitting there, recording. A lot of times you have to pull. A lot of times I sound crazy because I'm thinking I need to yell in the phone. That's not good. But if I had the recorder, we can just record. We can upload and we can go. Then next month we'll have somebody record. They put it in the proper place and we can go. Because I need more time to create. The more time you have the ability to create. Creating, uploading. It's time. So you want to get boom, 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 boom. You don't want to be spending all day trying to upload. I like TikTok and all that, and YouTube and all that, but sometimes, man, sometimes it's more a headache than the best part is for me. The best part is creating the videos. The worst part, uploading, hashtagging, all that, putting in the link. You got to go back. You got to put in the link. I love to write. I've been writing. I love it. The hardest thing is uploading them in different places. Oh, let me put it over here. Let me put it over there. It's exhausting. But we'll get somebody, and we're gonna get more clients for the copywriting business. I just learned that you can have people cold call people, get in contact with people. That's what I gotta start doing. Because you know, I read that book about Steve Jobs, and one of the things that was cool about him, I guess he was like, "I'm gonna die soon." I guess he just had some kind of weird thought that he was gonna die soon. And so he, they say a lot about Steve Jobs. They say he was a jerk and everything. I don't know because I never met the man, but I'm pretty sure he was. A lot of times, unfortunately, people, visionaries or whatever, they are kind of pricks. And the more successful people get, sometimes the bigger the dickhead they become. It's just life, you know. And you don't have to lay down. You don't have to lay down for nobody. I wouldn't. Me personally, I would let nobody talk crazy to me. That has. I don't tolerate BS. Maybe you shouldn't either, but I know people do, and sometimes it seems like when you don't tolerate a lot of BS, you might not get as far as you want to, as far as work or especially when I was in the military. It was not. I like being in the military. I'm glad I met the friends I met. I'm glad I had the experience. But when it comes to me being in the military, it was. I asked too many questions. I guess it was not a just I'd like to know. As I told my cousin, I before the military, I had no problems. After the military, I had no problems. In the military, was the biggest. Oh, we're gonna write you up for this. They're gonna write you up for that. What? What? You know, it's like, yeah, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you sometimes you want to fast track your success, and that's what we're talking about today. Today is purely motivation. You know, I want the best for you. I don't want you to, because a lot of times, you know and what made me think about this is I saw people, you know, uh, 47 over there. He passed the bill, something called a big beautiful bill, and I guess they're gonna cut Medicaid down and all that. And you see people in the uproar and everything, and that's fine, But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the less you focus on stuff that don't really matter, in life. Like, there's nothing wrong with having fun. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. There's nothing wrong with going on vacation. I'm not saying, sit there and work until you're blue in the face and you drop dead. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times, the problem with people in society is they always trying to escape. Always trying to escape. From what? God, I don't even know. Always trying to escape. They ain't drinking. They ain't drugging. Oh, my parents hit me when I was 7. Man, listen, man, you're 41. You're 41 years old. Okay. Oh, my mama didn't show me enough love. Man, listen, come on. Listen, it's not a good excuse. It's sad. Then you got people, they're all on social media, and you think to yourself, because as I told you before, I hate all that. I hate that I got a TikTok channel, but it is what it is, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? We are driving this bus. I am driving this bus. My goal, ladies and gentlemen, I told you, my goal is to wake up every day in my bed, walk around the corner to the little office that I got, that I've built, that me and my wife have built. Me and my wife, she was in there pregnant. We put together a table and all this jazz. And my goal is in the next few months to be there every day, because you know, uh, my daughter, who was cute as a button, she's 3 going on 4. She does not like when her dad is gone. She can't do no them overnight trips. She don't like them. Uh, she is not a fan. She likes me to be at home. And I thought to myself, you know what, child? I like to be at home. I like to be. Your daddy like to be at home too. So we're gonna make that happen. So we're gonna fast track this thing. You know, we're going to produce more. We're gonna be dumping more articles. We're gonna be dumping more videos. We're gonna be, uh, I got a report that I'm gonna write after I get off here. I have a report that I want to write. Matter of fact, I have a little audio recording that I'm going to record. We're going to have a sale. You can check that out in the next couple of days. I'm going to record it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the process. I'm going to record it. I'm going to send it out. Have somebody, do all the things they got to do to make it all nice, nice MP3. Bring it, send it back to me, and then we're going to start selling it for a price. Okay? That's how that's going to work. Because I told you before, we got to pick up the pace. And free information is free. A free podcast is cool, but after a while, you really got to start selling something. You can't just keep giving everything away free, 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 free. This is not a soup kitchen. And you gotta have that same mentality, okay? You gotta have that same mentality. You cannot, dancing on TikTok is fine, but after a while, you don't want to do that forever. There's a shelf life. Everybody wants to make $1. You don't have to be greedy. You don't have to be a billionaire. You don't have to be stepping on people's necks. But you and I both know, with the way the economy going, with the way the world is going, the best way to not have to worry about Social Security, the best way to not have to worry about the government, the best way to not have to worry about your politicians or anything else, is to really start creating things for your own good. Okay, if you can make an extra $500 a month, you can make an extra $1,000 a month, extra $2,000 a month. That right there is what you need to be doing. That right there will keep the people away. Okay, that's it's not about. Listen, it's perfectly fine to have a job, but the worst thing that you can do is one income, or you invest. One income. That can be the kiss of death. Do not want to fall into the category of the power of one. Okay, the power of one will have you feeling very helpless. So I know we talked about this before, but sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, it is worth repeating because a lot of times people don't. Just because you make $100,000 does not mean it's going to be last forever. You never know when a job is going to come. Because listen, I'm in an industry where they are just hiring more and more people of the foreign kind. They can pay them cheaper, and they can get them on the road quick. These people do not know how to drive that well. They don't know how to back. That's no offense to get offended. I, I can't help, but they hire more and more people from Asia, India. They hire more and more people from Africa. They hire more and more people from Mexico. They bring them up. Don't drive well. I don't know what kind of schools they going to. Backing is terrible. The driving is erratic. The driving is all over the place. Very impatient. I've had three people, and they were all foreign. You know, just just the way it is. Three people in the middle of the night in the last 6 months. I've never had this happen before. And I was driving for 20 years. Three people tried to pass me in the middle of the night on the 2-lane road for no reason. I'm doing 65 miles an hour. The speed limit is like 60. I'm doing 65. They trying to pass almost 3 times. Almost hit somebody on the way there. That's very scary. Okay, I do not want to be a part of that. I do not want to be a part of an industry that does not have any respect for the driver. They do not want to pay you. It's just the way it is. I ain't mad at it. And you know what I just told myself? Come on, man, we gotta go. And so I'm telling you, don't wait, don't hesitate, don't capitulate. Okay, get a move on, move those feet. Steve Jobs, he knew. I guess he knew his time was up. He died when he was like 51, 53. Um, I don't know when my time's up. You don't know when your time's up, but I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, you'd rather be doing things that you want to do when your time is up, rather than I wish, I wish, I wish. Told you before, you wish in one hand and you poop in the other. Okay, ladies and gents, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow with an all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. God bless each and every one of you. As always, everybody. Peace.